Hello, everybody, and welcome to Real Estate for Real People. I'm Kimberly Adams Mann. This is where we talk about things that really matter to real people in real estate and try and break down all the complicated stuff that's happening in the market nowadays. I'm Kimberly Adams Mann, and
I'm Russell Mann of Shore West Realtors and TAMThomes.com.
And we are the Adams Mann team here at Shore West Realtors. And our first thing we're going to talk about, as always, is this week in real estate news. So, Russ, what's happening this week in real estate news?
Yeah, lots going on with VA this week. Well, it came out, I believe, mid-August. But it's come out about the VA requiring pest inspections.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
but
that's a
pest.
new one. No,
I mean, it's
wood boring pests.
Right.
So any wood destroying insects, information is required in quite a few places now. Even though we're on the low to medium risk factor here in Wisconsin, it is, for the majority of Wisconsin, it is a requirement, particularly in our area. So out of all the areas, we've got Kenosha, Milwaukee, Racine and Walworth counties all require this pest certification.
Yep, and of course there's also Columbia County, Crawford, Dane, Dodge, Grant, Greene, Iowa, Jefferson, Lafayette, Ozaukee, Richland, Rock, Sauk, Vernon, Washington, Waukesha. I mean, that's like the whole of southern Wisconsin.
Yeah.
That's like all of southern Wisconsin is required to have this now. And it came into effect apparently in the middle of August, and we were not made aware of it.
Yeah.
Which is unusual. We're usually on top of stuff like that. But it was kind of like slid under the radar.
Yeah, it was only,
It was only last week that we found out, which is 2 weeks after it had gone into effect. We normally find out about stuff like for example, the FHA condo rule. It doesn't even go into effect until October, but we already know about it. So that's typical. So for us to not know about something means, and then I've been talking to other agents, and there seems to be a lot of confusion. Some of them aren't sure about what it is.
Yeah, I called a few of our lenders during the week to try and get the lowdown on it. I've been onto the VA website and checking out the information that's available there. And yeah, it's...
So I think what makes this one really unusual is that it is required for all VA loans. Okay, that's not so unusual. But what's unusual is that the seller is required to pay for the test.
And
the buyer can't pay for the test.
The inspection is only good for 90 days. So, God forbid a deal fell through. It could be that they have to pay out for a second one.
I know, which really kind of is not very good.
It's not.
It's really odd for something that's required by the buyer's mortgage lender, essentially, or by the buyer's mortgage requirements. It's really unusual that the seller is required to pay the test.
Now, a couple of lenders I did speak to have said they're looking at if they can pay for it on behalf of the buyers. But
right now, the way the VA reads that it has to be paid for by the seller. And now, I received an offer on one of my properties this week, and that's how we found out about it, because it was a VA offer. There were multiple offers. That offer didn't get accepted, and one of the reasons was because the way the agent wrote it into the offer, because that's actually going to be the most important thing. The problem is, they put it in as if it was just a pest inspection. And so when we read that, and because we didn't know about it, we went, whoa, any pests? Any kind of ants? Any kind of, I'm sorry, but what if one of the kids, we found out after we did reject that offer because there was a better offer on the table. It wasn't just because of that.
Yeah, that wasn't the only factor.
No, that wasn't the only factor, but it was a factor. And we did end up rejecting that offer, but I can see that in a negotiation situation, I could see how that would really weaken a buyer's offer, and it's totally outside their control.
Yeah, particularly as it's a seller's market, so buyers are writing offers as strong as possible. So,
even though we wouldn't recommend it, I've actually had offers this year that have had no inspections on them because the buyer is trying to write such a strong offer.
Or the buyers will forego the radon test. They won't ask for a radon test because they would rather do it afterwards if they can still secure the house.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll do it themselves.
Yep, absolutely. Which is a little bit, it's just a really odd kind of situation. So that's just really a really unusual thing to have happen.
Yeah, and we've spoken with a couple of our lenders, and one of them's actually going to be at our meeting on Tuesday, our sales directors meeting. So they're going to have a bit more news, hopefully, for us then.
I don't think they'll have much more because it's Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, true.
Nobody's open tomorrow. So that will have a whole lot of more information. But if we do have more information on this VA pest inspection, we will let you know. But this just hit Wisconsin middle of August this year. It's already been required in places like Florida where they have termites and stuff. That's normal. But it's just hit Wisconsin in the Midwest as a requirement, and southeast Wisconsin, at least southern Wisconsin for sure. From Milwaukee down, absolutely. Madison, Milwaukee, we're all covered down. So it hasn't hit the northern
So they
parts.
have like 4 grades: high risk, middle to high, low to middle, and 0 risk. Wisconsin falls in the low to middle.
Right.
So we're, just off the 0 mark.
Pretty much.
But the further south you go, Illinois is a middle to high risk. So
right. And since the southern Wisconsin borders Illinois, that's why we're in that a little bit more.
We're in that category, yeah.
Yep. So we've got Sir Bobby over here on the side. He's trying to photobomb, I think. It would not surprise me if he jumped up behind us in a few minutes here. But anyway, you might get to see him. So our next topic that we're going to talk about in real estate news is this. So last week we were talking about Amazon. Hold on, folks. Don't know if you can see Sir Bobby there, but Russ grabbed him for a minute.
Here's Sir Bobby.
He's probably going to growl. There we go. Amazon is... Oops, sorry. Nobody did see that because we actually weren't on webcam for that. So here we go. Ready? One more time. There's Sir Bobby. There you go. You want to say hi to everybody, Sir Bobby?
You want to look at the camera?
So Russ has been up north all weekend doing an open house. Where'd you go?
Lost me badge.
Oh goodness, that's terrible. Anyway, so a little bit of craziness here. So Amazon is set to do new build homes, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, $105,000.
Yeah.
That sounds like an amazing bargain, doesn't it?
It does sound like an amazing bargain. However, what you need to take into consideration on this is you still have to buy the lot for it to go on.
Okay, so that's like minimum $60,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you have to pay for utilities to come to the property.
So that's 20 to 30.
Either a septic and well or hooking up to the city.
So brand new septic is going to be about $15,000. Brand new well is about $15,000.
Yeah.
If you're hooking up to the city, you might get it as low as 10 each. So we're looking at 20 to 30,000 there. So let's take the low end of that. So now we're up to 80,000.
Then you've got to do the groundwork. So either maybe a wooded lot, so you've got to chop down trees to make space, or you've got to dig out for either a foundation or a basement.
Okay, so a foundation, just the concrete alone is going to be $5,000 for the concrete.
Just for the
So
slab.
that's a slab. That doesn't count having a basement, and most people in this area want a basement. So then you've got a basement.
Mm-hmm.
So the basement then is about $30,000, and that's kind of being a cheap basement because this is not a very big house.
Yeah.
So inexpensive basement, $30,000. All right, so what are we up to now? Let's see, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110. We're up to 110,000, right? Okay, so we're up to 110,000, and now we can put the $105,000 house on top of that. So now we're up to 225.
Then you've got to pay someone because the house comes in two halves.
Right.
So you got to finish it off and put it together. So you got to pay for a crew to do that, and then hook up all the utilities.
And we have no idea how much that would cost because we don't even know for sure what's involved with that. So we're kind of estimating it's going to be at least 10, maybe 20. So now we're at let's say 20 because I really think that good help is hard to find, and if you're doing a new construction, you probably want it to be good help. So
yeah.
$20,000. So now we're up to $245,000, right?
Uh-huh.
So up to $245,000 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, open plan, living in the main area. But wait, what's the size of this house, Russ?
775
square feet.
Yeah.
Not even 1,000 square foot house.
So it's less than 800 square feet. So even if you finished off the basement, which by the way would cost you more, you're still only going to end up with 1,600 square foot.
Wow.
Well, less than 1,600.
Probably closer to 12 or 13 because you need room for your mechanicals.
Mm-hmm. And then you've got a landscape as well, put in a driveway.
And I have no idea whether
and a garage, because there's no garage on there.
Exactly. And I have no idea whether this comes with the mechanicals like the furnace or the water heater.
Uh-huh.
Couldn't even find information because they're not actually putting them up for sale yet. But they are proposing this, and they say they're going to be doing this in the very near future. It takes 3 months to build it to your custom fit, so I guess that gives you 3 months to dig out your basement. To me, this just sounds like buying a mobile home. Can't people already buy manufactured homes for $105,000?
Sure they can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure they can, but I think you could get a better deal just buying a house.
Well, that's true, because if we're at $245,000 without a garage,
you can get much better than that. For
you're going to have
price.
at least a $20,000 garage. Yeah. So now we're up to $265,000. And the reality is, you can get about a 1,500 square foot new construction home for just over $300,000.
Yeah.
So up your price $50,000, and you get 3 times the house.
Yeah, I mean,
the garage,
we was talking to
hassles.
A builder the other day, and their bottom of the range new build package is only $307,000, and that's a 3-bedroom. 2 bath,
but
with a garage.
But it's a 1,500 square foot.
Yeah,
that's twice the size of the main level. Plus, they come with full basements.
Yeah.
So when you finish them, you're getting 3 to 4 times the size of the house as the Amazon one for $105,000.
Yeah,
that doesn't seem like a very good deal. So that's why I said, watch out for the hidden costs, because there's quite a few of those. That's for sure. So let's see what else we have going on here today. So, new on the market. Are we ready for new on the market? New homes to the market.
Yeah. Kimberly's pick of the week. What was in first place? The 75 to 150,000 range.
Okay, so this was, now I had to do all the picks this week, and the reason I did is because Russ was up north at our house that we have for sale up in Minocqua. We'll talk about that later because he was doing an open house there. But I had to do all the picks for this week, and
I literally got back about 40 minutes ago, so
he's just,
bear with me if I look a bit tired.
Yes, he's driven about 8 hours today because he had to drive 2 hours from mom and dad's to the property and then set up the signs. Then he did a 3-hour open house, and then he turned around and drove 5 hours back home.
Yeah. And
he's not even had his dinner yet. That's not my fault. I had dinner ready for him.
I know.
All right. So let's talk about this first property. 3418 Sheridan Road. What's the price on this one, Russ?
This one is $123,000.
Okay, $123,000. 3418 Sheridan Road. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 3-car garage for $123,000.
Well, I can see why you liked it.
Yeah.
It's got a 3-car garage. So it's got a garage space for you, the missus, and for your toys.
And what? For your what?
Toys.
Oh, for your toys. Okay. And what is the square footage on this one?
This one's 952, so it's more
Okay.
of a bargain than Amazon.
Okay, so the Amazon house for 105, I mean, this one beats it out already, except for this is only 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom.
But it's on a quarter-acre lot as well.
That's true. It is on a decent-sized lot.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at it and see what it looks like. Not bad. Not bad at all, is it?
No, for that price, it's really good. It looks good.
Nice
Looks
and
like it's
tidy.
got newer windows.
Good siding.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, nice kitchen.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why I picked this one, because I absolutely thought this was a huge kitchen. Now, I think the picture stretches it a little bit. I don't think it's as big as it looks, but this is a double cupboard here. This is a double cupboard here. Double cupboards above, double cupboards above. Another 2 double cupboards up here. You do have a dishwasher here. Under sink right there. And then like a corner cabinet. So you just have a lot of cabinetry for $123,000.
Yeah, a lot of cabinets.
But then here's
That's
the
pretty
other
good.
reason that I picked this one. Dun dun dun!
Yeah, the 3-car garage.
Yeah. Now, the only thing I found a little bit odd about this 3-car garage, I'm going to talk about this, I'm going to go right back to it here in a second so people can see it, but what do you think that's missing to this garage, Russ? What did you notice?
The driveway.
Yeah, there's no driveway to this garage. What's
Yeah.
up with that? That's really weird. So, anyway, there's no driveway to this garage for some bizarre reason, but I guess you can just drive across the lawn into the garage. Put your toys there.
Might get a bit muddy in the winter, though, when it's wet.
But you could put down gravel, and that would really
Yeah.
solve the problem. For $123,000, there's a lot of space there. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of space. All right, so let's move on to our next house of the week. Our next pick of the week is between 150 and 250, and that one is 2600 25th Avenue in Kenosha. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. And what's the square footage on this one, Russ?
This one's 1,200 square foot above grade.
Okay, so again, we're still beating out the prices of that new build Amazon house, and this one actually is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and a 2-car garage.
Of course, this one was built in 1949. It's not exactly a new build, but
Yeah, but it's got
size-wise, it's good.
But it's
And look at that, it looks really good.
it's a cute. Well, we better show it to people too. It's actually a cute little house.
Yeah.
It's got nice new siding. It's got a completely fenced-in backyard with what looks like vinyl siding, vinyl fencing. So new vinyl fencing. Look at that kitchen. Woo. Okay, I am in love. I have to say, I do have a thing for these random drop looking light fixtures. Just the bare bulb. I kind of do like those a lot. But again, look, you got cabinets that go all the way to the ceiling. So nice tall cabinets, lots of space in that kitchen. And what you may not be able to see very well in this picture, but right down here in the corner, that's the sofa and the TV. So it's like a big open plan space that's all in one space there.
Yeah, and a lot of people are going for that at the moment because they feel that if they have a separate kitchen, they're separated from guests when they arrive if they're cooking. They can't be part of the conversation. So this is ideal. You can hear what's going on. You can be part of that conversation while you're cooking.
So then this is not the best. Okay, so the problem with this particular one of the problems with this particular listing is that the photos are not particularly great, but there were some really great features. And I felt like for the price, which was...
The price was $209,900.
I thought for the price, it actually looks really good and there's some great features to it. But the problem is some of the pictures are not all that great. So like this picture of the bathroom, I did this one because you could see up close on the bathroom like what it actually looks like. So you could see the nice countertop, the toilet, and the tub. What you can't see though is that there's actually quite a bit of space before that. So when you're backing up, like there is a shot from this listing of the bathroom, so you can see all the space, but you just couldn't see the details of the tub and the sink.
Okay.
And I thought the details of the tub and the sink were important. So next, moving on, $250,000 to $350,000. Now I think that this possibly is my favorite house this week of all 5 houses.
Well, it certainly has curb appeal. Now this one is 9063 312 Avenue in Wilmot.
Salem Lakes, actually.
Yeah, and it's just inside the mark on this one is 349.9.
Yep, but wait till you see some of the inside pictures. I think you're going to love this. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, right? Look at that curb appeal.
Yeah, it does look nice. It looks very nice.
Yeah, I'm loving on that curb appeal.
It's got a nice bay window there at the front. Nice steps going up to the front of the property. Looks like a deck on the front as well, which looks really nice.
Yep. And the other thing I loved about this is it does have 2.11 acres, 2.11 acres of land with it.
Yeah, that's certainly special. It's got an attached garage as well, so that's all good.
Look at that kitchen.
Yeah.
Now, what you can't see in this picture is that actually over here on the side, it's actually this really pretty, it's been painted this really pretty pop blue color on the other side. So it kind of makes it pop. But this was the best angle of the kitchen. So you could see the plate racks and what I love is that up on the upper ones, they've got the glass front. And on the lower ones, they've got them all closed off. So it's like you've got a place to display things nicely, but then you also have room to hide stuff that you don't want to be seen.
Yeah.
So I thought that was nice. But this next picture, this is the reason I chose this property. You ready?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, that's pretty special, isn't it? That
wow.
wall of glass that goes onto the roof.
Oh my goodness. My eyes just popped out. I'm going to show you guys that again because we're back on camera there for a bit. But look at that wall of windows. Oh, so I follow some people in England who are home decorators and things like that, just so I can keep up on trends and everything. And I will tell you that this right now, this whole wall of windows thing is a huge trend. Even in English country homes, they're blowing out the walls on these big English country homes and making the whole back sides of them into like a big wall of windows, accordion doors and stuff like that, so they can have the inside-outside feel to them. And you don't see that a whole lot in Wisconsin.
How cool is that? You can do stargazing at night while sitting there. You know, you can sit down there, look up at the sky.
Oh,
fantastic.
So yeah. I have to say, I love a lot of space and light, and that just has a wow factor that, you know, you just can't ignore that wow factor, that's for sure. So moving on, let me get back to some of my stuff here, folks. Sorry about that. The next one is 350 to 500K, 350 to 500. And, whoops, let's get our PowerPoint up to where we're supposed to be. And here we go. So this one is 9624 49th Court in Pleasant Prairie. I thought this one was all threes. It's 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 3-car garage. It's a triple house.
A tripler.
It's a tripler house. All right, so the tripler house
has got the trifecta.
So I mean, it's a trifecta?
Yeah.
It's a okay. Anyway. Or a hat trick? The hat trick of a house?
A hat trick?
A hat trick house? Okay. Anyway, we've got it's a great, pretty traditional, you know, suburban new build exterior. Now, what was interesting about this house is that I did not actually like the pictures of the upstairs. I didn't feel they showcased the house very well. I do think there are some really fantastic features to this property. I just didn't think the pictures looked like they were presenting the house all that well. And so the pictures that I did think had the wow factor to them, though, well, there's one of them. That's the basement.
Yeah, and you've got 1,200 square foot of finished space below grade. So that basement, the amount of finished space you've got, it's 1,200 square foot.
Yeah.
So that's more than one of the Amazon houses alone.
Yeah.
It's actually 1,840 above grade. So you've got a combination of over 3,000 square feet finished space.
That might be too much house for me. That might just be too much. But then it has this great outdoor space as well. Look at that pergola.
Yeah, you've got just over a third of an acre to set this in. So you've got a nice, beautiful patio with a pergola there. Great for entertaining outside on a summer's day.
Yep, absolutely. So that's really cool. So now we're on to the...
We didn't discuss the price on this
Oh, what's the price on that one?
The price for this one is $429,900.
Okay, so $429,900. That's really a good price, actually, overall. With 3-car garage and everything.
Yeah.
All right. So over $500. Now, I'm going to go back to my pet peeve a little bit here. There were 7 new properties that came on the market this week that were over $500,000. Either new or newly relisted or something, where they popped up as new.
That's great. Why have you got a peeve on? Because there's 7 of them.
Because the best one, the one with the best pictures, is $529,000. There was one that came on that was like $1 million, and the pictures are hideous.
Really?
Yeah.
It always shocks me when people don't insist on having professional photographs in their most expensive sale or purchase.
I know, but I don't understand. I mean, over $500,000. Look, I mean, we're talking about $500,000 properties in Wisconsin, in our area, in this, Racine, Kenosha area, especially where we predominantly do our business. Over $500,000 is a luxury home. There's no doubt about that. Why would you not want to showcase the luxury elements of a luxury home? And some of them, you can see that they use professional photographers, but the photographers themselves did not actually take care.
They didn't do a good job.
Which tells me that the agent probably wasn't there being the director. See, that's the other aspect of this, is that as an agent, I'm always going to be there for the photo shoot too. I want to make sure those angle shots that I want are taken. I want to make sure
you turn up, you go there, you help stage the property, and I know not all agents do that, but all agents should be there for the photo shoot, because then they can check over before the photographer goes and leaves the property. You can actually have a look, show me what you've taken. Yeah, I don't like that, I want that one retaken. You can do it there. He's still there.
Look, my photographer's never had a problem with me saying that, because he knows that I love him to bits, because he is an awesome photographer. But every once in a while I'll say, hey, can you get this shot? Can you make sure you get this one? Don't forget this, because he doesn't always know the features of the property that need to be highlighted. That's my job. I'm the agent. So anyway, what really bugs me about this is the over $500,000 price point not being represented well. So this is the best house over $500,000, and it is 2110 Carlos Way, Mount Pleasant. It's a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 3-car garage. All right.
And this one's on at $589,900.
Sorry, $589,900, not $529,900. My apologies. $589,900.
Yeah.
And it's not even with a regular realtor. This is with a builder that's actually doing this one. So it's already built, but it is a builder that has relisted it.
It was built in 2011.
Yeah, this particular agent, shall we say, primarily does new construction. They don't sell a whole lot of homes, but this one they clearly know how to sell, because look at that. That is a great exterior photo.
Yeah.
Now, this photo isn't a fantastic photo, but what I thought looked really good about it was that it showed the whole openness here, and that you can see all the way into the kitchen. You can see the tray ceilings, which are gorgeous. The natural stone fireplace all the way to the ceiling. And that you've got all this great space. So this was a pretty decent one. All right. So then this was I love this. This is the master bedroom. Again, a deep, deep tray ceiling up there. There's chandeliers in every room of this house, by the way. There's an office in this house. It has a chandelier as well. Every single room in this house that I saw had a chandelier.
Is that a sitting room?
That is. So what's really amazing is that there's an entire living room space over here that's part of the master suite.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow is right.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can see why this one made the list.
Yeah, it's just really amazing. It's not just because it's a purple wall, even though I love purple. You know I love purple.
Yes.
But it's so much space.
It actually looks nice. The purple wall.
Yeah. It actually does, because you've got the huge white ceiling above it to balance it. And notice they've got the white columns. And the other room, the lounge area is not that same purple. It's like that light, that almost neutral green.
But you've got that transition.
Yes.
On on the wall going into that room of being purple. So
yep,
that's
absolutely.
quite cool.
I love that. I thought it looked really, really nice. So definitely loved that one. So good job. Open house recap. Yay! So we both had an open house today. Woohoo! We actually had one.
Yours was a bit closer than my one, though.
Yes, and mine was I almost didn't have one because I was supposed to have a different house open. Our new listing on Duran that I thought I was going to get to feature today sold on Thursday.
Well, that's good. That's what we do.
Well, I know, but I mean, I listed it on Wednesday.
We like to show them off a bit, but we don't always get a chance. We seem to get them and
sell them very fast
before we get to hold.
I mean, even when we're listing it on a Wednesday, I'm still not getting to an open house. I'm gonna have to start listing on Fridays or something, so I can actually hold an open
Saturday
house.
And
I know it's gonna have to be Saturday to list it, so I can hold an open house Sunday. I don't know. It's just crazy. So anyway, our open house recap. Let's talk about that. And here we go. Whoops, this is mine. So I was at 3407 13th Street in Racine. Now, I want to point out a couple of cool features about this house. It's not new to the market. It's been on for a couple of weeks, but the price has dropped to $139,900. It started at a higher price, and it has new siding, a newer roof, completely repainted, all of this. The curb appeal on this is really cute.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
Oh, it's so nice. I love this house. Which is why when the agent said she wanted an open house, I said, yeah, I'll do an open house there. I don't have one to do for my listing. I might as well do one for yours. So
yeah. That's the great thing about Shore West as well. You don't always get it at other companies where other agents hold each other's houses open.
Yeah.
For them, if the other agent can't do it.
Or some agents don't want to because they have kids and they want to be home on the weekends and, other responsibilities they may have with, they have, everybody has to make their own choices.
And so at Shore West, we allow other agents to hold our houses open because, after all, they've got a different sphere of influence. So if they advertise it right, they can get their people in there and maybe write an offer on it. That's the hope anyway. So that's a great thing I found with Shore West is that we can. Next week
who cares about Shore West? We're going to talk about this house. This house is awesome. So it's got that. I want to move on. We've got some beautiful built-ins, all hardwood floors throughout the whole house. Absolutely gorgeous. Even upstairs in the bedrooms. Absolutely gorgeous floors. They're in really good shape. They could probably use a wax, and that's about all they need. Just maybe another coat of wax or something. Not even a poly. Just do a nice wax job. And then it's got a great big backyard as well with a 2-car garage back there. So lots and lots of space there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is that a gate there for them to?
That's a gate. That's a gate. The garage is at the end of the driveway here, so you got all this parking space here. Plus, there's enough room for at least another car because I parked in the driveway today.
Wow.
And still had plenty of space in front of me. I might be able to park 2 cars there and a couple of cars there, plus, of course, the 2-car garage. So there's a ton of space to be able to park cars here if you need to, or extra vehicles or, things like that. If you have a camper, plenty of room in the backyard for that to be stored on the side of the garage.
So great if you've got a dog as well because it's all fenced in.
Yep, it is all fenced in. So that's kind of great. So we're going to talk about your open house next, Russell. You want to talk about yours?
So
and I had 8 people at mine. I had 8 people at my open house today.
That was good.
That's a good open house.
Yeah, that is a good open house. Which reminds me, I've got to put the numbers in.
Okay.
So I was at 10919 South Bear Lake Road up in Hazelhurst in Minocqua.
Yeah, Minocqua technically, but
yeah. So this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. Is it 2 or is it?
Yes, 2.5.
2.5. Yeah,
2.5
I thought there was a half bath there somewhere.
Yep.
And it's
main floor laundry.
It's on Bear Lake, so you've got 100 foot of lakefront there. It's got its own pier, although you have to put that up.
Well, it's a removable pier.
It's a removable one, so it gets taken in each winter and goes out during the summer. And there's a picture of the lake there. It's just over 300 acres of lake.
No. Oh, 300 acre lake. Sorry.
Yeah.
thought he was saying 300-acre land. No, it's 1.92 acres for the land.
And it's in 2 parcels. So
yes.
You have the land the house is situated on, and then you have a little bit just over the road as well.
That protects you from having people build around you, actually, is what it's more about. So that's kind of the cool thing of that.
So then off the back deck, you do have a walkout basement as well. And you can walk down to the lake, and there's a nice bench there. You can sit and watch the world go by. So great for relaxing. You know, if you want to get away from it all. But you can also live there year round. So the previous owner did.
Yep, absolutely.
So it's a great property. I had 2 groups come through mine. One was a neighbour.
Yeah, and we love neighbours.
Yeah, because
we love having neighbours come by.
They were looking for a friend who is after a property up there. And then a really nice couple that came through that were up there looking. They sold their one that was up there and they regret it. So they're looking to move back into that area. So, yeah.
All right. So now we're on to our tip of the week.
Tip of the week.
All right. So what is our tip of the week?
I don't know. What's our tip of the week?
That's because you weren't here. I was setting this all up today. So here's our tip of the week. Our tip of the week is about, so we were talking earlier about the tiny house trend and how Amazon was getting into that stuff. So we're kind of keeping it all together. And there's also a new trend coming that is not coming, but it's here for people with tiny gardens.
Yeah.
It's a tiny garden trend. Oh, well, actually, I'm loving that because we have a tiny garden.
We do.
We have a very small house and not a very small house. Actually, I think it's quite spacious for 2 of us and a dog, personally. Yeah. That's plenty of room for us. But we have a very small piece of land with our house, and the house takes up probably 2/3 of the land. And then there's a little bit out the front. And so we have a very small backyard because we have a garage. But I love that because low maintenance. I actually want it to be even lower maintenance.
Yeah.
We'd love to concrete the whole thing over, basically. But what's cool about it is that there was some stuff on Inman News where they're talking about how quite a few people are getting on this tiny garden trend and what to do if you have a tiny garden. And this is a great time of year to be renewing that. So getting out those raised beds. So raised beds are one of the things that people have in these tiny gardens, where some of them don't even have any garden at all, and they just create a box bed, a box garden basically back there, a little tiny thing. Growing tomatoes or other herbs or zucchinis or things like that in just regular pots. So,
growing your own fresh veg is always good.
Yeah, very nice. Water features as well. So a lot of them have been doing things like water features in big pots as well. And the nice thing about that, especially in this area, is you have a small garden and you want to have a water feature, great to have it in a big pot because then at the end of the season, you can dump the water out of the pot and bring the whole thing inside.
Yeah, you can shut it up for the winter so it doesn't freeze and get damaged.
Yep.
And it's great for in the summer to hear the bubbling water. You know, everyone loves that. Well,
the sound of water. Sound of water.
It's just so relaxing. Calming and relaxing.
Yep, absolutely. And of course, the other thing that is really nice is, so you may not know what fairy lights are. That's actually kind of a British term. Did you know that was a British term?
No.
Fairy lights? Yeah, fairy lights is a British term. Yeah. So fairy lights are basically Christmas tree lights. Well, we would consider the very tiny ones, though. Not the big Christmas bulbs that were like the big ones, but those little tiny white ones, that's what they refer to as fairy lights.
You can get the ones that are okay for outside use, and you can string them up around your fence. And with a tiny garden, it's not going to take much to do that. You can actually buy them where they connect up so you can put several strings together.
Yeah, when you have a tiny garden, you can actually get something like some people will have just a pergola, and that's all they have the space for is just one pergola. But what really is kind of cool if you do have a pergola is to put those Christmas lights that are like like the shower curtain version, like where they're just like long strings, and put them on like two. If you only have two sides or three sides exposed, put them on two sides, and it kind of just creates this really magical thing.
Yeah.
And we got some for the front of our house for Christmas and for our front window for Christmas, and I think they only cost us like $10 per strand.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing about the tiny garden trend that's really nice, is that it's very inexpensive. So if all you have is a deck off the back, or all you have, maybe you're in a condo and you can only have like, you'd only have like a little, you know, patio space out there, you can still create this really cool little garden space for yourself using pots and water features and all sorts of things like that. Put up some fairy lights around the edge of your deck or around the edge of your patio, and just, you know, like a curtain of lights just really adds a really nice touch and very inexpensive to do. So our tip of the week: show us your tiny gardens. If you have a tiny garden or you have an idea for a tiny garden, we'd love to see it.
Yeah, send your pictures in, and we'll show it on next
absolutely.
week's video.
I'd love that. If you have a tiny garden, or you know of a tiny garden, and you can take a picture of it and send it to us, send it to tamthomes@shorewest.com. It's really easy to remember. T as in the, A-M-T, T-A-M-T stands for The Adams Man Team. Homes, H-O-M-E-S, at shorewest.com. And then we will see them, and we will feature them on YouTube next week if we get any pictures. So if you've done something really cool, or if you just have one little thing that would fit into a tiny garden, like
if you've got any
feature.
ideas for a tiny garden, send them in.
Yep, send them in, and we'll feature them.
We'd love to see them.
Yeah, and if we get any, we will actually feature them next week. So I think that's all we've got for today. We've actually gone quite a while. We've gone almost 41 minutes this week.
Wow.
Yeah, still no chat though. Folks, we really want to hear you chatting. We're not seeing anybody chat. We'd love to hear what you have to say. We love your feedback. If you like what we're doing, please do us a favor and click subscribe and like, and then turn on that notification bell. We are actually, starting in September now, we're now going to be uploading not just our live video every Sunday that you get to see, we're also going to be uploading a video on Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, and there's going to be another one every Friday night or Saturday morning, somewhere in that range. We haven't figured out exactly when the best time is, but we're going to figure that out. It's probably going to be based on how quickly we can get some of these things done. But we're going to now have 2 videos every single week. So like us, subscribe to us, and turn on that notification bell, and you'll be able to see 3 things every single week now. So, and that's starting this week in September, because we are September 1st. Now, normally on the first week of the month, first live of the month, we try to talk about the sale to assess. But because today is the 1st of September, we need to wait until next week, because all the home sales haven't closed out in the system yet. So Russ will be bringing us sale to assess next week again, so you guys can have that market update. If you have any other questions or anything else you want to know, please leave us a comment. We love to hear from you. Click like, subscribe. Please turn on that notification bell. And thanks so much for watching. Have a great evening, everybody. Bye.